one of the North Wales Wildlife Trust's most well-known and important reserves. The Trust has been involved with conservation here since the 70s, and the main focus of that work is the seabird colony. It's a very important site in itself, but it also works as a great kind of outdoor classroom and a great kind of source of inspiration for people. So.
Oh my goodness! It's a worm!
Eggs on it as well.
It's quite a unique place, really. I mean, it has this unique atmosphere which you sense when you first come here. What you've really got with Cemlyn is a brackish lagoon, which is shallow water, mixture of sea and fresh water, divided from the sea by an esquire or a shingle ridge, which was naturally created by a storm in the 19th century. The wardens are here from round about the end of April till round about late July or mid-July, which is basically the tern breeding season, and that's the main focus of their work. Because it's such an important site, it's the only Welsh breeding site for sandwich terns, and because there's so many of them breeding in this one place, we really try to protect them as much as we can from disturbance and predation.
The National Trust own all the land and they do all the management on their land as it is, but we lease the islands, and we manage the visitors during the summer, and any work that needs doing around the edge of the lagoon, we'll do that as well. We discovered last week, when we did a count of the nests on the islands, that our colony is the 5th biggest sandwich tern colony in Britain, and the biggest one on the west coast. So we have nearly 2,000 pairs of sandwich terns, so that's really encouraging, and hopefully it'll carry on into the future.
We will take it in turns to do a morning census of everything that's on the reserve, so it will be the things we can easily do a census of, so we won't necessarily look for bugs and things like that, but if we see obvious ones we'll count them, but it's generally birds, mammals and things that are more obvious to us. And then later on in the day we might survey other things, like we might do a butterfly transect or look at the rocky shore, things like that, for more documentation, because we report all these findings to the local record centre. BioBlitz is a brand. They're things that are run all around the country and people can adopt them. You get the experts that come in and do their part. They might be teaching, they might just be surveying, but then the visitors are asked to come in and contribute what they see.
Well, what I thought about the BioBlitz is that it was set up to celebrate biodiversity, which I think it does, but in a way also yesterday I was thinking that it's also it's kind of a celebration of people's passion for wildlife. Both the experts who've turned up to record things and to look for things and to try and share their knowledge with other people, but also just from the general public and people who've kind of come to learn about things and to see things perhaps for the first time. But that kind of enthusiasm is very infectious, and when you've got 30 or 40 people madly searching for crabs and turning over rocks, and that kind of sense of wonder what we'll find next, that kind of not knowing what you're going to see, but knowing that you're very interested to know what's there, and I think that kind of sense of discovery is really special and worth celebrating, and I think the BioBlitz is a good example of that. We're lucky to have had Cofnod, which is the local record centre for this area, to support the event, and they're all about getting people from all walks of life, not just the scientists who are doing it anyway, but everybody, to sort of get involved in recording wildlife and entering their data so that we can really get a picture of what's out there through the internet and through the resources of local record centres like Cofnod. The amount of knowledge that can be amassed is getting really fantastic, especially when species are being threatened and habitats are being threatened. It's having that knowledge of what's out there that will give us better tools to understand what's important and how we can preserve it. know from experience that things turn up here, even if they're only for a few hours, because as I said, where it is on the coastline, things will sort of pass in when they're migrating. So it's always a good place to check out. Yeah, on the sea, you just don't know what's going to be under that next rock.
It's kind of life now, so I can't actually imagine in August when we've finished what I'll do. I'll be like, oh, where are my birds? I might have to just keep coming back.
Sitting out here on a nice day, chatting to the visitors as they come walk along, that's one of the most rewarding things that I do.
I think it has that element of that you'll never know it completely, and it continues to sort of to amaze or to unfold some of its secrets.